Did you know that some of the wealthiest people on Earth maintain a poverty-level lifestyle? It's true. Despite having access to billions of dollars, they opt for a modest and economical lifestyle that would cause you to question their genuine net worth. If you could afford a fleet of luxury vehicles or a massive mansion, why would you drive an old car or live in a modest house instead? Well, some of the wealthiest people in the world do exactly that. So, in today's video, we'll examine some of the billionaires who decide to live modestly. These rich people don't mind being mistaken for ordinary people, even if it means driving rusty pickup vehicles and eating fast food. But given that they have access to everything, why would they choose to have such a simple life? Do they discreetly hoard their money, or does something more fundamental motivate their frugal behavior? Well, let's find out. Queen Elizabeth II. Why, though, would a queen behave in such a way that doesn't feel right at all? You might be wondering how, but Queen Elizabeth II was renowned for her frugality. According to the UK's Express, she insisted all light bulbs in the palace to always be low wattage and switched off when not in use. She also emphasized that wrapping paper be reused, frayed linens be repaired rather than replaced, and handbags be used for up to 40 years. She could have easily spent around $500 million net worth on costly items and abundant lives, but she chose to be frugal and careful with her spending. Did you ever watch how she decided to travel around? She frequently used public transportation or drove herself in a modest car, despite having access to a fleet of royal vehicles and a royal train. Her wardrobe selection showed her dedication to being frugal. She was renowned for wearing things more than once, frequently updating or adjusting them to give them a new look instead of continuously buying new apparel and accessories. Ingvar Kamprad. Ingvar Kamprad comes next on our list. At the time of his passing in 2018, IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad had an estimated net worth of around $42.5 billion. Despite enormous riches, Kamprad was renowned for living simply and always looking for ways to save money. In fact, Kamprad was so committed to leading a simple life that he reportedly spent many years driving a 1993 Volvo and even traveled in the economy class. Kamprad was always very clear about his ideals and desire to live a modest life, which may seem odd for a man of his riches and status. But Kamprad's commitment to frugal living extended beyond his private life. One of the reasons IKEA has been so successful over the years is that he was known for his dedication to keeping expenses down at the company. Kamprad thought he could change the world by maintaining low costs and ensuring everyone could afford high-quality furniture. Of course, no discussion of Ingvar Kamprad would be complete without noting his extraordinary sense of entrepreneurship. Although he was only 17 years old in 1943, he started IKEA and developed it into one of the most prominent furniture merchants in the world. Today, IKEA is a well-known brand with more than 400 locations across more than 50 nations. Over the years, Kamprad has been active in various businesses and his work with IKEA. He invested in multiple industries including financial services and airlines, and constantly looked for innovative ways to improve the world. Azim Premji. Only a few billionaires would live frugally like Azim Premji, who decides to embrace a life of poverty. This Indian billionaire, investor and philanthropist, often called the Tsar of Indian IT, lives more like a middle-class non-entity than an aristocracy. Premji, however, is renowned for leading a shockingly modest and typical lifestyle despite his enormous riches. He frequently drives a small automobile and dons modest, basic clothing. He's also renowned for avoiding ostentatious purchases like boats and private planes. He's said to be worth $9.2 billion and drives a battered, used Toyota, an improvement over the used Ford Escort he previously preferred. But why would Premji choose to live this way when he has the means to live in luxury and extravagance? The explanation lies in his commitment to philanthropy and desire to use his fortune to impact the world positively. The Wipro Limited chairman is so frugal with his money that he keeps track of how many toilet paper rolls are used up by workers in his Wipro IT facility. But that doesn't mean he can't show generosity. He donated millions to charitable organizations and established a university foundation to help Indians find more well-paying jobs. He feels that if he must spend, it should be for the greater good. Carlos Slim. He's the media mogul who helped the New York Times when it was in trouble. Did you know that he could spend $1,000 a minute for the next century and yet not deplete his wealth? Well, he is a Mexican business tycoon who amassed substantial assets in real estate, telecommunications, and other industries. He prioritizes giving back to society and maintains a modest lifestyle despite having a net worth of approximately $91 billion. Carlos dislikes living an opulent lifestyle, such as purchasing a private plane for business trips or a Ferrari to drive to the office. This guy frequently makes lists of the most richest people in the world, yet you won't find his home on any list of famous people's homes. But given that he can live wealthy and make big purchases, why does he live so modestly? Carlos Slim views riches as the ability to use resources to improve the world rather than for personal gain or indulgence. He has contributed billions of dollars to charitable causes like healthcare, education, and disaster assistance. He's renowned for actively participating in the programs and initiatives he supports, demonstrating that his dedication to assisting others extends beyond simply signing checks. Carlos Slim shows via his deeds that real prosperity and fulfillment do not come from acquiring wealth, but rather from using that fortune to have a constructive impact on the world. Jim Walton. In a society where many billionaires lead remarkable lives, Jim Walton's example demonstrates that real riches derive not from having material items, but from leading a life filled with passion, purpose, and meaning. Jim is best recognized for being the Walmart empire's heir. The biggest retailer in the world, Walmart, has locations, subsidiaries, factories, and other facilities all over the globe. Despite having an estimated net worth of $60 billion, he maintains a simple, unpretentious way of life, maintaining the affordable, down-to-earth reputation of the business that made him rich. Instead of residing in a lavish home in any of the world's major cities, Jim Walton opts to remain in the small town of Bentonville, Arkansas, where Walmart is based. And, well, he drives a rusty Dodge Dakota pickup truck. He even manages the family's private wealth management business out of a simple brick structure in Bentonville. Jim Walton's lifestyle decisions reflect his dedication to being practical and frugal. He doesn't require pricey vehicles, lavish residences, or glitzy workplaces to be satisfied. Instead, he finds satisfaction in everyday activities like spending time with loved ones, taking in the outdoors, and giving back to his community. Jim Walton follows the same Walmart philosophy as his family, who amassed wealth by making investments that allowed ordinary people to purchase items at affordable prices. Even though he's extremely wealthy, Jim Walton is determined to lead a simple life. Warren Buffett. If you looked at Warren Buffett's lifestyle, you would never guess he is one of the world's wealthiest individuals. Warren Buffett enjoys a simple life, unlike many other billionaires who reside in opulent residences and possess expensive yachts and private planes. The Oracle of Omaha, who is now in his 90s, is still chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, and when it comes to net worth, Warren Buffett is very close to the top of the pyramid. He belongs to the exclusive 12-figure club, and according to Forbes, his net worth is $107 billion. Yet, he has a very simple life. Buffett is a living example of how to live modestly as he still resides in the home he purchased in 1958. He eats at the neighborhood Dairy Queen, not surprisingly one of his investments. He gets his investment advice from talks he has in the neighborhood coffee shop or from financial newspapers he buys at the pharmacy. He forgoes high-end technical equipment in favor of a ukulele, delighting hundreds of followers who congregate annually close to his house in Nebraska to hear his financial forecasts. He invests in businesses and people he is familiar with, including soft drink producers, energy corporations, automobiles, and food distributors. Oh, and he does use credit cards. One of them is a low-level American Express green card, not one of those high-end cards reserved for the very wealthy. Mark Zuckerberg. What would you do if you were splurging in wealth like Mark Zuckerberg? With a net worth of more than $63 billion, Facebook co-founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg is one of the wealthiest persons on the planet. Despite his enormous riches and fame, he's renowned for leading an incredibly common and average life. Because he is so frugal, Mark Zuckerberg works at the office in plain t-shirts and jeans. In public, Zuckerberg is frequently spotted sporting his distinctive grey t-shirt, which has practically become his hallmark. He's stated that he consistently wears the same attire to simplify his life and lessen decision fatigue. It's small, but it illustrates his commitment to keeping things simple and unpretentious. Despite having the means to purchase a $1 billion mansion, he lives in a modest home for $7 million. Even after Zuckerberg amassed a billionaire status, he and his wife, Priscilla Chan, continue to reside in a Palo Alto rental property. Also, Zuckerberg's mode of transportation is relatively modest. He frequently drives a Volkswagen GTI, which is recognized for being affordable and useful. He was also seen once filling up his car at a gas station, which is not something you would anticipate from a wealthy businessman. With his generosity, Mark Zuckerberg has demonstrated his dedication to leading an ordinary, average life in arguably the most prominent ways. Seeing how these people place their values above worldly riches is interesting. Anyway, what do you think? Which would you prefer, an extravagant life or a basic one? Comment below, and we'll see you at the next one.